A Swift Kick in the Ass, episode 123. Life is challenging and difficult. No one gets out alive. Time to suck it up, Buttercup. Get ready for a monster-sized boot aimed to help you get traction on personal change and get living. I am John Curran, your host. Join me as I share my journey exploring the forces that motivate us to change and help us get through whatever life throws at us. A swift kick in the ass. Life on your terms. Welcome to another episode of A Swift Kick in the Ass. This is your host, John Curran, and today's topic, chasing security. If you're a listener of this podcast, you know that I like to disrupt conventional thought, and I have to say that I am too a victim of this conventional thought, this belief that we can find security in our career, our profession, our job, that we can find security. And what is security? Well, in my case, it's job security. That's what I'm after. I would like to know that I can count on my employer to provide a steady flow of cash based on my work. Pretty simple. But I feel like I've been operating at kind of eyes half open. I know at times I certainly have. And I think just like we can chase happiness, I think we can try to chase security, and we can get kind of lulled into complacency of chasing security. Now, I work for corporate America. I have for decades. And when I first started working for corporate America, large organizations, you could really see your job as being secure. In fact, some might say, I went into some positions where they said, this is a black hole. You're never getting out. The position is that secure that you just can't leave. There was a lot to be said for that because you knew that you could depend on the cash. Now, it did keep you in that position, but that's for another day, that story. Today, I want to talk about the security that we feel in our jobs, in our position. Or maybe, in my case, I don't feel secure at all. In fact, about 10 years ago, my job was eliminated. And I recognized then how quickly the organization can say, we don't need you anymore. And I understand that. But they have the right to pull the rug out from under me and take my job. I mean, it's not really my job, it's their job. And, I work it for them. But if they don't need me, they don't need me, and I'm out. Now, they have control over that. So I feel somewhat out of control because, what can I do about it? Nothing. So most people just live with that. They know that their position can end, and they'll deal with that when the time comes, if it comes at all. Because we all know that sometimes we worry over nothing and over things that don't ever happen. But for me, my position was eliminated. I did have the rug pulled out from under me. And as I did, it worked out well. But it did get me thinking. And as I've gotten older and my responsibilities have gotten greater, meaning I've had a wife, children, a house, car payments, all these financial obligations and people that depend on me and depend on my work and my income to survive, to have security in their life, to know that they have clothes on their back and food in their stomach and a bed to sleep in. That's very important to me to provide that for my family. And I'm sure it is to you as well. So I had a great fear of losing my only stream of income. Now, I have confidence that I could get another job and so forth. So that really wasn't a problem, but it was the pain that I would feel in between. And also thinking very strategically like I do, thinking very big picture, I would much rather prepare now while things are good for bad times. If those bad times ever come, I want to be prepared. Best time to do that is when things are good. So that's what I have been doing. I have been creating additional pathways that I can follow if I need to. I also look at it like a lever that I could pull. For instance, if my job was eliminated and I needed to create income, additional income quickly. Now, everyone, talks about a side gig. A lot of people have side gigs. And that's good because a little extra money, boy, it can make a big difference. And it's nice. Maybe that's just fun money. Maybe it's money that you use to just go out and spend on anything that you want. A nice dinner or some clothes or, whatever. Just frivolous spending. It's nice to have that cash. So seeking out a side gig right now while things are good and while you have another job can boost your income. And also help you start developing another pathway that could create more income for you and also, could provide revenue or income if something happened to your main job. So what I have done is I have applied with a nonprofit organization and have established a relationship with them as a public arbitrator. And I don't really want to talk about the organization, but it is connected with the SEC, and it's dealing with financial arbitration. So I don't have a financial background. I don't have a legal background. I don't need one because they were looking for people in the public. And if you look up public arbitrator, I think you could probably find out some more information about this. It's a legitimate pathway. It is connected with the SEC. And the organization's name is FINRA, FINRA, FINRA.org. Take a look for it. I think they are in the need for additional arbitrators. And if you meet their criteria, I do suggest that you apply and think about possibly becoming a public arbitrator. I think it would be an interesting thing to do. It's a way to generate extra money. And, gosh, what's better than helping someone resolve a dispute that you have no fight, no dog in the fight? Is that what they say? You can have an unbiased opinion, and just be honest and say, yeah, this is what I think is fair. So that's one thing that I'm doing. And what I learned going through that process of applying for the position, being accepted, going through training and so forth, is that I used to feel anxious about my job being pulled out from under me. I don't feel anxious anymore. That anxiety just evaporated almost immediately as soon as I knew that that pathway was established for me. And then I've decided to build upon my success and create another revenue stream or another source of income for myself. And that is another legitimate source, and that's becoming a notary public. Now, notary publics basically are a way of saying, yes, this person signed this specific, this document, this financial document usually, or some type of legal document, and I'm certifying that that person is who they say they are, and putting my name up to it. So it's pretty serious. But with that certification and with that position, you can also become an electronic notary public, take an extra step, become that, and then contract with financial organizations that do refis and go to people's houses and help walk them through the closing process and become a closing agent, and then work the paperwork with the mortgage company and the people who are refinancing, and become a closing agent, as I just said. That's another source of income. So pretty nice little side gig, right? So now I have two possible little side gigs. I haven't seen any money come in from this just yet, but I am told that it does take time. I am in the system. It is there, and it's just really just a matter of time right now for me to get a case as a public arbitrator. And then I'm still working on my other pathway, but that can happen very easily, and I know what I have to do. So I feel really, really good and really confident about the future. I feel much more secure in my present as well, because I know if something is to happen, I have a plan. Tommy used to talk about this on some of our previous shows, and I think he called it an escape plan. And this is part of my escape plan. If I need to escape this current situation, I have certain levers that I can pull that are going to help me transition into something different. I don't have that fear of losing my job anymore, because I know that I have some things I can do. And then I also have very marketable skills. I have formal education and a lot of work experience. And I know exactly what I'll do next and transition into a different sector of the industry that I'm currently working in. Do something a little bit different, help people, make money, live my life, provide for my family. Life is good. But these are my terms, and I intend on controlling my terms the best that I can. And I understand, too, that this world is a very dangerous place, or at least I see this world as a very dangerous place. There's always been good or bad. Civilization has existed long before I ever got here. And I have a feeling it's going to exist way after I'm gone. So while I'm here, I'm going to make the best of it that I possibly can. Yes, it's dangerous, but I'm not going to let that stop me. In fact, it motivates me to build security for my family and for my children, who may not, who are just starting out. I want to put them in a great position to live their life and continue on, our family when I'm gone. Danger is going to be, it's unavoidable. We need to accept it and manage to it. Stop thinking about the danger and recognize what you can do about it. And if you can't do anything about it, then try to minimize your exposure, your risk to it, and the impact of what could possibly happen if, say, for instance, the worst thing did happen. I think what you'll find is that as you start to think about your security and what makes you feel secure, and you start to work on your present security, I think you're going to see that the anxiety that you feel is going to melt away. And what's interesting to me about that is that anxiety is an emotion about the future. It's worry about the future. But we all know the future isn't here. It's just in our heads. So if we channel that energy that we're giving to worrying about something that isn't here, we have no control of, and it just serves no real purpose. If we channel that energy, kind of change the direction, we can focus on something much more positive. And I think that as you start to do that, you'll actually even gather momentum. So it might be more difficult in the beginning to get going, but once you get it moving, it can take on a life of its own. And doors start to open, and the resistance that you faced at one time is gone, and it's a whole new, different world that was right there if you just would have opened your eyes. Now, don't kick yourself too bad for becoming complacent, because we all do it. It's easy, and the reason why is it's not only easy, but we kind of have to do this. There's so much going on around us. The world is chaotic. It's filled with things going on, good things, bad things. Just everything is going on all at once. We have to choose and pick and choose what we pay attention to. And the things that we don't pay attention to, we might know that they're dangerous. They might be lurking in the background, but maybe we just don't realize it until it's too late. And then we learn a lesson. So what I'm trying to teach you is I'm trying to teach you to be open and thoughtful about, hey, what's really going on here? Where do I want to head? And what terms in my life can I change that's going to make my life better, help me control the terms of my life, and just live a better life overall? I know what's helped me. This has all helped me. And I plan on sharing this more with you. So please continue to join me on my journey. I think I'm just going to end it here, but keep kicking ass. And until next time, this is your host, John Curran. This is your podcast, A Swift Kick in the Ass. Peace. This marks the end of another episode of A Swift Kick in the Ass, placing it directly in the can. As much as I like to talk, even I have my limits. It's time to go. Catch me on the next show. For better or worse, whether you like us or not, please leave comments wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on Twitter. Visit our home on the interweb. I think you can leave me a voicemail there. You can also email me at john@aswiftkickintheass.com. It's been my extreme pleasure. I hope you got a lot out of it. I hope you got your ass moving. Until then, until the next time, I'm out of here. Peace.